All right. Why midlife makes you question everything and why that's not a crisis. Today, we're understanding the midlife awareness shift. If you're in your 40s or 50s and you're suddenly questioning your career, you're questioning your direction, even some of your life changes, you might be wondering, why am I feeling this way now? Maybe what used to motivate you really doesn't motivate you anymore. Maybe work that once felt meaningful now feels heavy, more like a burden. Maybe you're questioning things you never questioned before, and it can feel confusing, even unsettling. But here's something important to understand. For many people, this stage of questioning is not a crisis. It is really a transition. We go through a transition at midlife. Questioning is critical. And today I want to explain why midlife often causes people to question everything. Why that can actually be the beginning of clarity, which is a good thing. In our early career years, most of us are focused on building in reality, building stability, building income, building credibility. Is it because we value these things or because it's just how we're supposed to function to fit in? We're trying to prove ourselves. So we push forward, often without questioning too much. We're over busy, working late regularly. We accept what is, how it is, and just do what we have to do. In reality, no matter what hurts or how tired or drained we might get. Sound familiar? But somewhere in our 40s and 50s, something shifts. We become more aware of our time, our energy, our health, our meaning. Things that once felt acceptable suddenly feel heavier. Not because we've become weaker, but because our awareness has expanded. And when awareness expands, questions are going to naturally flow. Anything you see in your life, when it expands, when things grow, you have more questions. There's more things you're recognizing. This is necessary. This is a very necessary process in moving forward. Many professionals build their identity around their career. For years, we say things like, I'm an accountant, I'm a manager, I'm in healthcare, or myself, I was to say I'm a career counselor. Our role becomes part of who we are. It's something that we identify with. There's a strong connection there. But midlife often introduces a quiet realization. We start to really capture this thought that your career is something you do, it isn't everything you are. Your career is something you do, it isn't everything you are. Think about that. That realization can create a strange feeling, a feeling of distance from work that once defined you. It's not that the work changed, You changed. It's important to know that. Earlier in life, motivation often comes from external drivers, things like promotions, salary increases, getting recognition for the work we do on a daily basis, for titles. The greater the title, the more proud we feel, more accepted we feel, more accomplished we are. But over time, those things lose their emotional pull. Instead, people begin to prioritize things like freedom, energy, health, autonomy, meaningful work. Now, is there not a difference in the previous list compared to this one? When you read this list, it feels liberating. The other one, a little more burdened. When these values shift, the same career environment can subtly feel misaligned. I've experienced it on more than one occasion, and it's a really interesting thing to go through. That misalignment leads you to questions, lots and lots of questions. But again, it's not a crisis. You're recalibrating, you're readjusting to who you currently are or have become. This stage of questioning serves an important purpose, okay? It forces us to pause and evaluate, not panic, evaluate. You got to grasp that, not panic. Sometimes we have a tendency to panic when things start changing, when we start asking questions. Our thoughts can run wild, but please do not panic. Use it as a time to evaluate. Take a moment, think, ask questions, look for answers. It's a real time of reflection and growth. And some of these questions, if I was, what actually matters to me now? Listen to these questions. What actually matters to me now? How often have you asked yourself that? Or how recently have you? Here's another one. What pace of work feels sustainable? What kind of life do I want the next 20 years to look like? It almost feels wrong sometimes when you think about traditional career thoughts and whatnot. What pace of work feels sustainable to me now? It almost sounds like a weak question. What, I can't handle it anymore? That's where you can start getting into this negative zone. I can't handle the work. I'm becoming less of a person. It's just because we do less of the work, like I said, we don't identify with our job. That's not our identity, but we shift based on our life situation, work situation. We shift. Our pace shifts, but it doesn't change who we are, right? What kind of life do I want the next 20 years to look like? That almost sounds wow. Can I even imagine what I want the next 20 years to look like? But you can if you take some time. You can have a good realistic view. But these questions are so critical, I think, to ask in the sense to move forward. Midlife questioning is not about destroying what we built. It's about refining. Okay? Clarity doesn't come from ignoring questions, these important questions. It comes from exploring them. We must explore them. When we have these questions about our lives, we must explore them. There's no other way to make the necessary adjustments to transition in our lives, to reinvent what we're doing so that it fits who we are now. But this can all be done calmly. If you're at the point right now where you're questioning your direction, you're not broken, you're not behind, and you're not alone. Many thoughtful professionals reach this stage. I have worked with thousands of individuals, different professional industries, from white collar jobs to blue collar jobs to every facet of industry that there is. And the thing that's important to understand is that the goal is not to blow up your life. It's not to just throw, you know, and have everything destroyed that was so that you can create something new. It doesn't have to be that way. Okay. So don't be fearful about that. The goal is to gain clarity about what the next chapter should look like. And if you want help working through that process in a structured way, I have a midlife clarity session that I offer where we look at your situation and identify grounded next steps. Okay? Grounded next steps, steps that will fit your current life and the way it needs to unfold in order for it to be manageable for you. And if this video helped you today, please do subscribe. Next week, we're talking about something many midlife professionals experience but rarely discuss openly, and that's burnout. Okay, so we'll look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe.